Welcome to Panther Points Preview, a look at this week's upcoming EP football game featuring head coach Tyler Whitebread.
At the halftime, we said, wow, what a half, they struck first, then we came back with, back to back, they scored, we scored. And then they had a big play. And then, we needed to stop them on defense, and we did. So I said that first half had a little bit of everything. So I was impressed with the guys sticking with it. And again, we told the guys we wanted to be there in the fourth quarter, and we were. I think we were down a touchdown to start the fourth quarter. And unfortunately, execution on offense and defense just wasn't there. We had some plays in the first half that we hit for positive gains on offense, and they weren't there in the fourth quarter. And defensively, a couple missed calls by myself. It was kind of between a couple calls, and I called one way to try to blitz the defense, and they passed it to a guy that was uncovered. So, you win some of those, lose some of them, and overall, I just told our guys that, I said, this team's too good for moral victories. And I said, there's a lot to take away from this. This is good. But we had a chance if we would have stuck with it in the fourth quarter to really make it come down to the last possession for one of the teams. And unfortunately, we couldn't give our fans and give ourselves that opportunity to see a really good ending. But a lot of good takeaways from that game.
It has to be, I would think, a confidence builder for these guys.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We had a couple guys say to a couple different coaches, say, there's no way that Rockridge team is ranked third in 2A. And we said, yeah, they are. They're really good. And you know what? For 3 quarters, we were right there with them. And there was a couple, bad plays on our end that, we clean up, and it's a tied game maybe, So I think you're right. If nothing else, I think it showed our guys that we can compete with really good teams in our conference that are ranked in the state of Illinois. So I would definitely agree with that statement. He scored a touchdown last game, so that gives him 5 in the past 3 games. I'm just so happy for him to have that success, because again, I think we've known about him for 2 years. Last year we had a few other guys that were still ahead of him in terms of guys that need to get touches, but him and Winkler have found that connection. And again, credit to Keegan as well, because he's putting the ball in spots for Gavin to make those plays. And again, Gavin has produced all of those times. So it's been fun to see, to be honest. And I hope that it continues. I think you mentioned Derek. I think he had more tackles and more plays than I thought he had. He ended with 10 assists, 4 solo tackles, and one sack. So, I mean, that's, 14 tackles total. So he had a heck of a game, and I knew he had a good game, but I didn't realize it was quite that many until I broke down the film.
All right, so here we are. We're 2-2, just like we were last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Although do you feel better about this 2-2 than you did last year?
Yeah, I think so, because I think we have a lot of guys that were in that situation last year, and I think they know that we're capable of getting to where we want to go. But I told them this week, I said, we got to have a little urgency. We have some room for error, but like, we need to take the mindset that, like, it's urgent. Like, it's very important right now. Like, any missteps or any lackadaisical games, like, can really bite us in the butt right now. And we were just, because our schedule doesn't get much easier as we go through the season. So I said, we got to take advantage of every opportunity we have. Just kind of watching their film and seeing what they have. We think the strength of their team is kind of their O-line, D-line. And, I don't know if I should say that because they do have a running back that's returning that was really good last year. We haven't seen quite the explosive runs this year from him, but they got some big guys up front, and they play hard. I think sometimes they're out of position, but they play extremely hard, and I think our D-line has their work cut out for them. Again, I like our D-line. I think they're second to none, but I do think they're going to have their hands full just because they have good size and they play physical. So and the running backs run hard. So we've been practicing against what they've been running, and we're starting to feel better about it. But we can't take this team lightly. We got to come out and from the get-go and get after them. But yeah, we just got to keep getting better. And like you said, I think the guys. I think we're going to have a good game this week. Just because we have faced two really good teams. The first game didn't go our way. The second game, I think we proved to ourselves that we're definitely better than what we shown the previous week. So I think the guys are ready to get back out there and get after and hopefully get back on the winning side.